media app ban has turned violent, has turned deadly. In fact, the army has called in shoot and sight orders are in place. We'll get you a lowdown of the situation from ground zero. Also, story number 3 on 6 Stories at 6 is the violence during Ganesh Utsav. The violence, the stone pelting, targeting the Ganpati Visarjan viewers in Karnataka's Mandya once again. Story number 3 is the anti-terror operation that is underway in Kulgam, Operation Guddar. My colleague Gusman will get you more updates on that. Also, the other big story is from Bihar, where Congress MP was where Congress leader was given a shoulder flood review, a VVIP flood review. Viewers will get you that. Also, the Ukrainian Prime Minister's statement on India tariffs, viewers, he has backed the tariffs on India. Also, finally, we'll show you what happened in Jerusalem as two gunmen, Palestinian gunmen, had in fact targeted people at a bus stop in Jerusalem, viewers. So we start with what's happening in Nepal, viewers. Youth-led protests called the Gen Z protests rocked Nepal today, especially Kathmandu, and the protest banning of they were protesting against the banning of 26 social media apps. They turned deadly, as more than a dozen have now lost their lives, at least 18, and more than hundreds are injured. The scenes from the streets of Kathmandu bring back the memories of protests in Bangladesh last year. The army has been called in, shoot at sight orders are in place, and there's complete anarchy on the roads of Kathmandu, viewers. Here's what has unfolded so far.
Nepal is witnessing unprecedented scenes. The youth of Nepal took to the streets and even attempted to barge into parliament. Thousands of protesters, holding placards and chanting slogans, raised their voice against the Oli government. The situation soon went out of hand, resulting in police firing at the protesters. Water cannons and tear gas shells were used to disperse the large number of protesters. In the heart of these massive protests is the recent ban on 26 social media platforms by Nepal's Oli government.
Protests are still continuing outside the parliament as we gather, and also in the periphery of the city, like Tinkune, where the pro-monarchy protests happened in late March and early April. So officials are still struggling to take the situation under control.
However, what started as a voice of dissent against the ban on social media platforms has turned into a bigger movement against escalating corruption, authoritarian governance, political instability, and misuse of taxpayer money. Many of these protesters are seen holding a unique symbol, a black background featuring a skull wearing a hat, bones crossed underneath. It draws inspiration from popular Japanese anime, One Piece, symbolizing freedom, courage, and rebellion. The Straw Hat Pirates flag has previously been used in protests in Indonesia. The growing frustration among youth, fueled by the social media ban, has found its expression in this symbol. Will the voice of youth reach the Oli government? And is Nepal headed towards a major change? Only the future course of Gen Z protests will tell.
And viewers, once again, a Hindu festival has been targeted. This time the news comes in from Karnataka, viewers. Tensions gripped the Madur town in Karnataka's Mandya district after stone pelting broke out between two groups of different faiths during a Ganesh immersion procession. 8 people were injured in this incident. 21 have been arrested. A day later, massive protests broke out on the streets. Because of this, viewers, we've seen such news coming in from several other states as well earlier. Please report to me.
Violence has rocked Karnataka. Stones pelted at Ganpati idol. Ganpati Visarjan marred by violence. Chaos on the streets of Mandya. Last night, as Ganesh idol atop a red tractor passed through a mosque in Ram Rahim Nagar, devotees dancing all around, situation turned volatile. Miscreants pelted stones at the Ganpati procession. In retaliation, another group threw stones at the mosque, triggering a clash. 8 people were injured in the incident. Case was registered, 21 people arrested. Section 144 imposed in the area. And hours later, chaos erupted on the streets once again. BJP workers and Hindu leaders took to the streets next morning to protest against the attack. Lathi charge ensued. Karnataka Chief Minister called it a small scuffle.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಸೀದಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಮೆರವಣಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಲಘು ಲಾಠಿ ಪ್ರಹಾರ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವರು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದರೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವರು ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಬೇಡಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಗುಂಪು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಲಘು ಲಾಠಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 21 ಜನ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
Karnataka Home Minister says that all those involved in the clash have been arrested and everything is under control. But meanwhile, BJP has accused the ruling Congress government in Karnataka of playing the vote bank politics.
सेंसिटिव इलाकों को छोड़ कर देते हैं. ये कहीं ना कहीं वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स से जुड़ा हुआ है. मैं आपसे इतना कहना चाहूँगा. जब आप वोट बैंक से प्रभावित होकर अपराधी तत्वों के खिलाफ कार्रवाई नहीं करते हैं, यूपी में क्यों नहीं होता, मध्य प्रदेश में क्यों नहीं होता, और अगर होता है तो 1 घंटे में शांत कैसे हो जाता है? ये बड़े सवाल है.
See, this is the whole thing is a cumulative effect of the conduct of the government for the last 2 years. The appeasement politics has gone to the hilt. Therefore, there are some sections in the society who have got guts to do anything and get away. That is the attitude they have now developed because government is with them. And they are never punished for whatever violence they do or whatever illegal things they are doing. And that very particular area has problems every year in Mandya district, especially in Madur, but they have not taken any precautionary action.
सरकार हिंदुओं को दमन करने का, हिंदू भावनाओं को दमन करने का काम कर्नाटका में कर रहा है. मैं इसको विरोध करती हूँ. एंड तुरंत ही कौन कल पत्थर फेंका, गणेश को अपमान किया, प्रोसेशन में बाधा डाला, उसको तुरंत ही अरेस्ट करना, कार्रवाई करना. नहीं तो ऐसा एक माहौल है कर्नाटका में, हम बच नहीं सकते.
Any particular reason which started the fighting? That yet to see, we need to interrogate them. What are all the reasons that lead to this incident that we did?
Mandya stands scarred, where the festival of faith now has turned into a battlefield of hate.
Now, viewers, an encounter between security forces and terrorists broke out in the Guddar forest area of Kulgam district in Jammu Kashmir after following credible intel about the presence of terrorist viewers. DGP Kashmir also reached Kulgam today. My colleague Gusimran Singh gets you more in this report.
Encounter is underway in the dense forest of Kulgam district in Jammu and Kashmir.
This is an ongoing encounter where we also see the army had received the injury of 3 of its boys. Among them, one is JCO. All 3 have been evacuated to the medical facility for the treatment.
Jammu and Kashmir Police, Indian Army and CRPF launched a search operation based on the credible intelligence about the militant presence. In the operation, 2 terrorists have been killed and 3 army personnel injured during the encounter between the security forces and the terrorists. Other terrorists are believed to be trapped and the gun battle is ongoing to neutralize the threat.
Today, after getting the specific lead about the movement of terrorists here in Gudar as well, the joint forces launched a search operation, and that search turned into an encounter when terrorists fired upon the joint forces. In this operation, as of now, 1 dead body along with arms and ammunition have been recovered from the apple orchard.
Body of one of the terrorists was found lying in the apple orchards and has now been identified as Amir Nasir Dar of Shopian district, and he worked for Lashkar. This is the second major encounter in Kulgam in the last 5 weeks.
Them 2 terrorists have been neutralized in an ongoing operation that is taking place in the Gudar forest belt here in Kulgam, South Kashmir.
Earlier this month, an encounter continued for 11 days, making it one of the longest anti-terror encounters where 2 terrorists were killed. Kulgam remains on edge as security forces tighten their grip on the valley's terror network.
Now, Congress Party's VVIP protocol has been exposed yet again as Bihar reels under floods. A video of Congress MP Tariq Anwar being carried piggybacked by the locals during a flood survey in Bihar has gone viral. The video shows Anwar avoiding the slush and the floodwaters as he rides on the back of a man wading through the affected areas while the locals walk through the muddy area and also supporting him, holding him. Now, this comes at a time when Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is enjoying his Malaysia trip. His Neta, meanwhile, goes out for a flood review, but it's a Maharaja ride, it's a VVIP survey on shoulders. Locals in Bihar continue to suffer.
Congress Party's VVIP protocols has been exposed once again. In a shocking video that has now gone viral, Bihar Congress MP Tariq Anwar is seen piggyback on a local during a flood survey in Bihar's Katiyar district. In the video, Tariq Anwar can be seen laughing and enjoying what looks like a Maharaja ride on the back of a flood-hit victim who walks barefoot on the waterlogged fields into the mud slush. Tariq Anwar was on a 2-day visit to his parliamentary constituency to inspect the impact of the flood in the area. But the Congress MP, who has been in this seat for a long time, has barely been involved in any development of the constituency. Despite this, Anwar was seen using the poor locals as his mode of transport to survey the floods. This called in for a huge criticism for Anwar as the BJP lambasted and accused the Congress Neta of having a sense of entitlement.
जिस प्रकार से कांग्रेस के सांसद तारिक अनवर दौरा कर रहे हैं बाढ़ग्रस्त इलाकों का, वहां पर भी इनको वीवीआईपी प्रोटोकॉल और वीवीआईपी फैसिलिटी चाहिए. मतलब जो जनता जिसकी समस्या देखने और सुनने वो गए हैं, उन्हीं के कंधे पर चढ़कर वो दौरा कर रहे हैं.
कांग्रेस की यह संस्कृति रही है, अपने जूते खराब नहीं हो इसके लिए 3 लोगों के कंधे पर बैठ कर के जाना किसी भी सांसद के लिए बहुत ही निंदाजनक है. और इस तरह का काम केवल कांग्रेस के ही सांसद कर सकते हैं. ये वीडियो जो सबों ने देखा है वो बताता है कि आज भी कांग्रेस उस राजसी मानसिकता से बाहर नहीं निकल पाई है.
The Congress, however, defended Anwar's actions, saying he was unwell and that the locals carried him out of affection. Meanwhile, in reaction to the growing circulation of the video, Katiyar District Congress President Sunil Yadav claimed that Anwar had gone to understand the people's problems in remote flood-affected areas and he was unwell. Earlier, Tariq Anwar used various modes of transportation, including tractors and boats, to commute and meet the people affected by the floods. In one of the pictures shared by Tariq Anwar, he can be seen walking while a police officer and another man holds umbrellas, providing him with shade. In another video, he and a bunch of men are seen sitting on a tractor with everyone holding umbrellas. On the other hand, the Congress MP has defended his move on the growing controversy of his VVIP protocol. In his response, Anwar claimed that he was indeed affected by a sunstroke and the locals saw his discomfort and hence they picked him up and offered him a piggyback. He also confidently claimed that the people of Bihar will carry the opposition on their shoulders in the upcoming assembly elections this time.
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं थी। एक तो सन स्ट्रोक का थोड़ा असर था हमारे पर, क्योंकि बहुत गर्मी थी, और दूसरा ये कि वहाँ के लोगों की मोहब्बत थी। वो कीचड़ में कह रहे थे कि नहीं आप जाइएगा तो फंस जाइएगा, गिर जाइएगा, तो उन्होंने कंधे पर उठा लिया, और कोई बात नहीं थी।
This controversy comes at a time when Bihar is reeling under floods and other issues, with the polls slated to take place next year. Rahul Gandhi is seen enjoying his vacation mode while his Neta enjoys a VVIP treatment, only exposes the priorities of the Congress party.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has come out strongly in favor of imposing tariffs on nations continuing business with Russia, and that includes India. Calling it the right idea, Zelensky's remarks come at a time when the Russia-Ukraine war has seen one of its deadliest escalations in the recent months. Here's a report.
Amid the ever-escalating Russia-Ukraine war, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has come out strongly in favor of imposing tariffs on nations continuing business with Russia. After being asked if Donald Trump's sanction had failed, Zelensky said, and I quote, "I think the idea to put tariffs on countries who continue to make deals with Russia, I think it is the right idea." This comes after the Ukraine-Russia war intensified sharply when Russian strikes targeted Ukraine's cabinet offices in central Kyiv. The attack ignited fires and claimed at least 3 lives, including a 1-year-old child. Hours later, Ukraine retaliated by striking the Druzhba oil pipeline in Russia's Bryansk region, expanding the conflict into government and energy infrastructure. Heavy smoke poured from the upper levels of the cabinet building in Kyiv's Pechersky district following the overnight attack. Ukrainian authorities described it as one of the most severe escalations seen in recent months. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has expressed confidence that the Russia-Ukraine war will soon be settled.
They're losing now. I used to tell you 5,000. They're losing 7,000 between Ukraine and Russia, 7,000 soldiers every single week. It's such a horrible waste of humanity. So, no, I am not thrilled with what's happening there, I will tell you. I think it's going to get settled. So I settled 7 wars. This, I would have said, would have been maybe the easiest one to settle of all. But with war, you never know what you're getting. But we're going to get it, I believe we're going to get it settled. But I am not happy with them.
Amid the tariff war raged by Trump, the global gaze is now on the conflict that shows little to no signs of abating.
Now, a major shooting in East Jerusalem of Israel claimed the lives of at least 5 people, injuring 12 others. Now, this took place at a major intersection at the northern entrance to Jerusalem. Following the attack, IDF soldiers were dispatched to the area. Searches underway to identify the suspects of the attack. What we learn is that the gunmen were from Palestine. Here's the full story.
A major shooting took place in East Jerusalem today. The shooting took place at a major intersection at the northern entrance to Jerusalem, on a road that leads to Jewish settlements located in East Jerusalem. This claimed the lives of 5 people, injuring 12 others. The police have said that 2 attackers were neutralized as soon as shooting began. However, they did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the status of the attackers. Israeli media reported that the 2 attackers boarded a bus and opened fire.
Probably the number of the dead one will increase, unfortunately. And the 2 shooters, they tried to kill as much as possible of the Israelis and also maybe some tourists that were on the bus in the north of Jerusalem and the Ramot Exchange Road. And this is some kind of terror attack that Palestinians used to do a lot in the past. They were bombing and shooting at buses, but after that they stopped because they understood it is not good for their public image and for their PR. But now we are seeing that those attacks are coming back, and this time those 2 shooters tried to kill much more people.
Footage of the attack showed dozens of people fleeing from a bus stop at the busy intersection during the morning rush hour. Paramedics who responded to the scene said that the area was chaotic and covered in broken glass, with people wounded and lying unconscious on the road and a sidewalk near the bus stop. Following the attack, IDF soldiers were dispatched to the area and are searching the area for suspects in cooperation with the Israel police. Simultaneously, IDF soldiers are also encircling several areas on the outskirts of Ramallah to thwart terrorism and strengthen the defense effort.
Well, that's all we could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. Viewers, we'll be right back with more breaking news on the other side with 6:30.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला. I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार. MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला.
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला। भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना, अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Yesterday, a coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us. Because of their actions, we will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
For Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph!
Massive protests against Oli government in Nepal after government banned social media platforms. 14 killed, several injured. Shoot at side orders given in a few areas of Kathmandu and other towns of Nepal. Army shields Prime Minister and President's homes. Stone pelting in Mandya of Karnataka as Ganesh procession targeted, 21 arrested. One terrorist neutralized while 2 army jawans injured in an ongoing encounter in the forest areas of Gudar in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam. Top court says Aadhaar should be treated as valid proof of identity for SIR exercise. Unwell Congress MP gets piggyback ride from villagers during flood inspection in Bihar. All right, welcome back, friends. The Dharmasthala row continues to get bigger. Now, after years, the BJP leaders from the state, that is Karnataka, are all set to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah with the demand that the Dharmasthala probe be handed over to the NIA, which is the National Investigation Agency. Remember, the right-wing groups have been alleging that the Dharmasthala controversy erupted as part of a larger conspiracy to malign Hinduism, and now the BJP officially going to take it up with the Union Home Minister. And while the special investigation team appointed by the Siddaramaiah government is already looking at the probe, the BJP wants that to be handed over to the NIA. For more on this, Abhishek joins us live from Bengaluru for more on this. Abhishek, who in the BJP now want to take it up with the Union Home Minister? Are you getting an indication that the BJP is confident that their demand might be agreed upon and that's why they are going to meet the Union Home Minister? Okay, not Abhishek from Bengaluru, but Niranjan is joining us live from our newsroom here in Delhi and Noida. And Niranjan, when is this meeting likely between the BJP leaders and the Union Home Minister? And you believe do you get a sense that these leaders are confident that their demand might be accepted by the centre? Okay, we lost the line there with Niranjan. We'll connect in a bit. We'll try to see whether we can get Abhishek there on the ground in Karnataka over the phone, if not live, and understand what's made the BJP now, after almost a month and a half of the controversy, to jump in and demand an NIA probe. Okay, in the meanwhile, we have in fact a soundbite from Sri Ravi Shankar, who has spoken with Republic Kannada, and in which he has also raised concerns about the manner in which the whole Dharmasthala Rao has turned into conspiracy and the way the probe is going on. Let's listen to him.
ಅದು ಧರ್ಮದ ಸ್ಥಾನ, ಅದು ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಾನದ್ದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ತುಂಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು, ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆ ಭಂಗವಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ ಅಂತ. ದೂರ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಖಂಡಿತ.
All right, moving on. Tension continues in Madur, with police deployment increasing by the minute. Over 1,000 police personnel have already been stationed, and this is again in Karnataka, the kind of violence we saw in Mandya. Forces from not just Mandya, but neighboring Bengaluru, Mysuru, Hassan, Ramanagara and Chamarajanagar districts have been deployed. Security arrangements are being supervised under the leadership of the police officer IGP Borlangaya, and these are pictures from earlier, in fact, when the Ganesha Visarjan procession was disrupted and we saw vandalism also. Let's look at a ground report filed by Abhishek from Republic Kannada.
Since the people of Hindu harmony or the belief in Hinduism tried to go against the issue which happened yesterday, there is a procession that is happening in the streets of Mandya's Nepal to show the distance of right and distance. Also, recently, thousands of Hindus have assembled in and around, assembled from various places to make sure that continues peacefully intentions of people of any other faith. Also, there are thousands of police who have been deployed here to take the situation under control. They also started shouting slogans saying, "We are all Hindus, we are all one," which clearly means that no other faith can come to disturb the harmony in the Hindu community. And also, there is an issue.
All right, some ground reports there. In fact, there is one more filed again by Abhishek. Let's have a look at that also.
See, this is the whole thing is a cumulative effect of the conduct of the government for the last 2 years. The appeasement politics has gone to the hilt. Therefore, there are some sections in the society who have got guts to do anything and get away. That is the attitude they have now developed, because government is with them and they are never punished for whatever violence they do or whatever illegal things they are doing it. And that very particular area has problems every year in Mandya district, especially in Madur, but they have not taken any precautionary action. And they have allowed stone pelting, and then the police have entered the scene. And it has hurted physically as well as the sentiments of the community, Hindu community, which was doing Ganesha procession. And the women in that area have been very strongly expressing that it has become very difficult to lead a day-to-day life there, they have been threatened, and people walk with swords there. No police action has been taken, and the very motto of this whole thing is to vacate all those families from that area,
the Hindus
especially, and so that there will be monopoly of a single Samaj there. Therefore, government is insensitive with such people, and these things are happening, and Home Minister has taken it very lightly. He said it's a small incident. How can it be? It's such a serious incident, and care should be taken that it doesn't spread elsewhere. And it is the duty of the government. The police have failed, the government has failed, and it is totally, the government is responsible for this violence.
Not only this, because Mandya has seen communal violence in the past also. There's a history of violence in Mandya. And in fact, that then also knowing all this situation, yesterday there was no security till the stone pelting happened. Immediately SP rushed to the spot. Right now also Hindu Dal and BJP leaders are protesting over there. Arson was witnessed just a while ago in Mandya. Do you see that it is more than the appeasement politics of the state government, that they are completely neglecting the state is at the brink of communal violence?
See, I'll tell you. The other day, Eid Milad procession was there very peacefully throughout Karnataka.
Correct.
So, naturally, one sections of the society which is very tolerant, who doesn't want any violence, have allowed other religious activity to go. However, when the Ganesha festival comes, it starts from the police. They start putting restrictions after restrictions. During the puja, during the festival, during the procession, sound system, everything they start to put this thing. They put 144 and other things. Why? The Constitution allows each and every person, citizen of this country, to practice his own religion the way he wants. They are coming in the liberty and the rights of the people and the community. And Chief Minister closed his eyes, Home Minister's ridiculous the small incident. This is the attitude. It's appeasement politics to the hilt. And the anti-social elements have got so much of strength that nothing will happen to them if they do anything. So this is a very bad signal for government. People of Karnataka are very peace-loving people. And it is the politics of the ruling party which is creating such a violence-backed mess in this Karnataka.
A Pakistani intruder was arrested along the international border in Araspura sector today as per officials of the Border Security Force. The intruder Siraj Khan from Sargodha in Punjab province of Pakistan was noticed by the troops manning the Octroy outpost at 9:20 p.m. That's on Sunday. Take a look. Here are the details.
A major success coming for the Border Security Force in the Araspura sector of Jammu, wherein they have apprehended a Pakistani intruder identified as Siraj Khan. Right now we are reporting from the border outpost Octroy, from where this troops of the Border Security Force, they apprehended the Pakistani national. He was from Sargodha. So now the security agencies are questioning, multiple intelligence agencies are carrying out a joint investigation, joint interrogation of this suspect that has been apprehended by the Border Security Force. This was in this very area where he attempted to sneak in. He is a resident of Sargodha. Alertness of the troops that were deployed close to the border, their attempt was foiled, and now Siraj Khan has been apprehended. See, it is very crucial because the agencies are also looking into the angle that Sargodha was one of the locations that were hit by the Indian side during Operation Sindoor. So there lies a possibility that Pakistan might have radicalized this intruder who sneaked in into the Indian territory to get some sensitive information.
All right, Prime Minister's big message on GST asks NDA ally partners to conduct meetings with business owners and make them aware about GST reforms and organize small seminars on the reforms that have been brought in by his government. In fact, he not only asked his own MPs but even members of parliament from the NDA partners. From Navratri to Diwali, in fact, our Prime Minister has asked these leaders to be aware on GST reforms. Harsha comes live with us on this. Harsha, Yesterday we saw, in fact today only we have seen Prime Minister speaking to the BJP MPs. In that meeting, has he spoken about taking the message through the NDA allies also?
Yes, Abhishek, you rightly pointed out this was the address which was addressed to all the NDA allies of the speaking at 4:30, Abhishek, and Prime Minister spoke for more than 45 minutes, and major chunk of what Prime Minister spoke was on the GST reform. Prime Minister stressed on the use of the Swadeshi and made in India products, and also Prime Minister had stated from Navratri to Diwali there should be seminars and sammelans organized by the state parties for different MSMEs, for startups, for the business houses, to ensure that more and more Swadeshi and the made in India products should be stressed and should be used by the commoners. And awareness regarding the GST reforms is also one thing which Prime Minister stressed upon. And in the overall speech, the 80% time Prime Minister spoke about that how it is very important that we should not rely on the exports and we should not rely on
I think we have some connectivity issue there with Harsha, but essentially the report underscores Prime Minister's appeal to not just the BJP MPs but also the allies, ally parties of the NDA to go out and make an outreach to the masses, to people, to business leaders, business communities, and to impress upon them the importance of passing on the benefits of the GST reforms to the end consumer and to the people at large. That's Prime Minister's message. Moving on, and some other stories in Bharat in 1 minute.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Opposition MPs attended a mock poll session in Central Hall of Parliament regarding the voting process for the vice presidential election that is slated to take place tomorrow. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath flagged off 48 trucks carrying relief material for the flood victims of Uttarakhand, Punjab and Himachal Pradesh.
इन 48 ट्रकों को उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल और पंजाब भेजने के लिए आज हम लोगों ने अपने इन 3 प्रतिनिधियों को हम साथ में भेज रहे हैं। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि तीनों जगहों पर हमारे लोग जाकर के वहां के पीड़ित नागरिकों को उत्तर प्रदेश वासियों की संवेदना और इस राहत सामग्री का लाभ उपलब्ध करवाने में सहयोग करेंगे। इस सब के बावजूद अन्य सहयोग की आवश्यकता पड़ेगी तो उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार और उत्तर प्रदेश की 25 करोड़ जनता हर
Congress party's VVIP protocol has been exposed yet again as Bihar reels under floods. A video of Congress MP Tariq Anwar being carried piggyback by locals during a flood survey in Bihar has gone viral. The video shows Anwar avoiding slush and flood waters but riding on the back of men wading through the affected area while locals walk through the muddy area barefoot. This comes at a time when Congress leader Rahul Gandhi continues to enjoy his Malaysia trip while his Neta experiences Maharaja ride. But the locals in Bihar continue to suffer. Take a look.
Congress party's VVIP protocols has been exposed once again. In a shocking video that has now gone viral, Bihar Congress MP Tariq Anwar is seen piggyback on a local during a flood survey in Bihar's Katiyar district. In the video, Tariq Anwar can be seen laughing and enjoying what looks like a Maharaja ride on the back of a flood-hit victim who walks barefoot on the waterlogged fields into the mud slush. Tariq Anwar was on a 2-day visit to his parliamentary constituency to inspect the impact of the flood in the area. But the Congress MP, who has been in this seat for a long time, has barely been involved in any development of the constituency. Despite this, Anwar was seen using the poor locals as his mode of transport to survey the floods. This called in for a huge criticism for Anwar as the BJP lambasted and accused the Congress neta of having a sense of entitlement.
जिस प्रकार से कांग्रेस के सांसद तारिक अनवर दौरा कर रहे हैं बाढ़ग्रस्त इलाकों का, वहाँ पर भी इनको वीवीआईपी प्रोटोकॉल और वीवीआईपी फैसिलिटी चाहिए। मतलब जो जनता जिसकी समस्या देखने और सुनने वो गए हैं, उन्हीं के कंधे पर चढ़कर वो दौरा कर रहे हैं।
कांग्रेस की यह संस्कृति रही है, अपने जूते खराब नहीं हो इसके लिए 3 लोगों के कंधे पर बैठ कर के जाना किसी भी सांसद के लिए बहुत ही निंदाजनक है। और इस तरह का काम केवल कांग्रेस के ही सांसद कर सकते हैं। ये वीडियो जो सबों ने देखा है वो बताता है कि आज भी कांग्रेस उस राजसी मानसिकता से बाहर नहीं निकल पाई है।
The Congress, however, defended Anwar's actions, saying he was unwell and that the locals carried him out of affection. Meanwhile, in reaction to the growing circulation of the video, Katiyar District Congress President Sunil Yadav claimed that Anwar had gone to understand the people's problems in remote flood-affected areas and he was unwell. Earlier, Tariq Anwar used various modes of transportation, including tractors and boats, to commute and meet the people affected by the floods. In one of the pictures shared by Tariq Anwar, he can be seen walking while a police officer and another man holds umbrellas, providing him with shade. In another video, he and a bunch of men are seen sitting on a tractor with everyone holding umbrellas. On the other hand, the Congress MP has defended his move on the growing controversy of his VVIP protocol. In his response, Anwar claimed that he was indeed affected by a sunstroke and the locals saw his discomfort and hence they picked him up and offered him a piggyback. He also confidently claimed that the people of Bihar will carry the opposition on their shoulders in the upcoming assembly elections this time.
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं थी। एक तो सन स्ट्रोक का थोड़ा असर था हमारे पर, क्योंकि बहुत गर्मी थी, और दूसरा ये कि वहाँ के लोगों की मोहब्बत थी। वो कीचड़ में कह रहे थे कि नहीं आप जाइएगा तो फंस जाइएगा, गिर जाइएगा, तो उन्होंने कंधे पर उठा लिया, और कोई बात नहीं थी।
This controversy comes at a time when Bihar is reeling under floods and other issues, with the polls slated to take place next year. Rahul Gandhi is seen enjoying his vacation mode while his neta enjoys a VVIP treatment, only exposes the priorities of the Congress party.
All right, moving on. The National Investigation Agency conducted simultaneous raids at 22 locations across 8 states and 1 union territory, that's Jammu and Kashmir. Here are the details.
This time the NIA conducted raids at 20 locations across country that also includes Jammu and Kashmir. In J&K, these raids are in connection with the terror funding, the national security, and how the logistic support is being provided to the terror outfits on the ground. Today, a lot of NIA was accompanied by Jammu and Kashmir police along with the paramilitary forces, and at these places, the people of the NIA officials have collected the documents. We have been seeing these kind of raids for a very long time because the FIR in the case has been registered in Chennai office of the NIA. We have been seeing for the last many years now, apart from the NIA, the ED and the SI have been trying hard to take the terror out from Jammu and Kashmir, for which the raids agency believes are necessary, at least to take the support of the terror networks and also to see that not only the support, any logistic or any financial support is provided to the terrorists, or in order to provide a peace in the valley. These raids have been going on for many years now in the Kashmir Valley.
All right, let's look at some other stories from across the country in Bharat in 2 minutes. A terrorist was killed during an encounter between security forces and the terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam district Monday. The security forces launched a search operation in the Gudar forest area following information about the presence of terrorists. However, the search operation turned into an encounter after they opened fire and the security forces made a contact. The government has issued a critical security alert for millions of Android users across the country. This warning follows a security bulletin released by Google, highlighting multiple vulnerabilities in various Android versions issued by the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, the CERT. The alert states that these flaws could allow hackers to access sensitive data. The NIA is conducting coordinated raids across 22 locations in several states, including Jammu and Kashmir. The searches are part of an ongoing investigation into a terror conspiracy case. These raids target a wider network related to terror activities, aiming to uncover funding channels and sleeper cells. Ahead of the proceedings of the monsoon session of Rajasthan Assembly of the Congress MLAs held protest over the law and order situation in the state. Congress MP Tariq Anwar is under attack by the opposition after a viral video showed how he got a piggyback ride in Bihar's Katihar during a flood inspection drive. In the video, villagers can be seen wading through waterlogged field to carry Anwar on their backs. The Congress has come out in support of its former minister, claiming that he was unwell. All right, it's always forces first. At 17,000 feet, Indian Army Para and Indian Navy Marcos of the armed forces conducted a high-altitude combat diving exercise in freezing conditions, navigating icy waters and executing night dives. They sharpened their skills for mountain and maritime warfare. This joint exercise reflects India's resolve for multi-domain dominance and rapid deployment anywhere, anytime.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला. I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड भी, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm